So am I going to be able to which one's the red light? Come on.
They're both recording right now.
Okay.
Good to go.
You're going to do a good edit job.
Very good. Yeah, no, we can edit just about anything. It'll be all good. Okay. Well, I think first and foremost, if you could just say your name and your position and how long you've been with Bridgestone.
Well, hello, I'm John Baratta. I'm with Bridgestone now for 31 years. My current job is I'm president of the Consumer Replacement Tire Division for the United States and Canada.
Very good. The first question, we'll jump right into it. Is teamwork promoted and encouraged internally at Bridgestone? And if so, what are some of the initiatives that Bridgestone has undertaken to encourage teamwork?
Well, teammate performance and teamwork is very much a big part of the culture at Bridgestone. In fact, it's the #1 item on our Bridgestone essence, integrity and teamwork. In fact, a few years ago, we actually started referring to all of our employees as teammates just to reinforce that cultural shift. We've done a lot of things to break down silos in our businesses over the last several years, all to be pulling in one direction and have a clarity of where the mission and vision and values of our company are.
Very good. How has teamwork been a part of Bridgestone's growth over the years?
Well, I think if you're pulling in the right direction and everyone's aligned with that direction, there's no doubt you can create tremendous results. We've been very fortunate over the last several years to grow our business, grow our financial performance as well. I think a big part of that was breaking down silos so that everyone could see more of what the business was operating in, what the goals are, and how we wanted to accomplish those goals. One of the key things I think we've done in the last several years is we've integrated a lot of the business units. So for example, in the consumer businesses, we had basically 4 separate businesses all focused on their own goals. So we had our original equipment division, we had my replacement division, we have our company store division, our Bridgestone retail operations, and we have our own credit card division, all run by different groups of people. Today, that's all integrated under one management team. And so we can really see what the best practices are across all the businesses. We're looking out for the total good of the entire consumer business rather than just the individual pieces. We've done similar things in the truck side of the business, and we've even matrixed a lot of the organization on the functional areas so that we can have cross-collaboration between functional groups and the business groups.
Very good. What do you think are some of the benefits of creating a teamwork environment at Bridgestone?
I think the biggest benefit is everyone is more engaged. And when you have engaged employees, they want the company to do well. They want to personally self-actualize. If they want to advance their career, they've been able to see a little bit more of the holistic view of the company. And it's just overall energizing. And so when you come to work, there's more of a happy feeling, and let's be honest, if you have happy employees, they're going to be more productive, and they're going to pull in the right direction and get you the results that you really need, or they're going to really try as hard as they can to try to accomplish it.
Very good. How has Bridgestone's focus on internal teamwork evolved over the past, say, 5 to 15 years, and what are some of the effects of that?
Again, I think I'll give you a great example. About 5 years ago, we brought in the top management people in every functional area, every business unit, whether it be consumer, commercial, ag, you were in HR, finance, all of these different groups. We brought it in from US, Canada, and Latin America. And we basically developed what we call today the rules of the road, how we want to operate as an organization. These were the non-negotiables that the entire management team felt was important that we cascade down to the entire organization, because that is a very difficult thing to do. We have 153,000 employees across the world, and we've got about 55,000 here in the Americas. So communication is a huge challenge, but it's a very important thing that needs to be done on a day-to-day basis. Clarity of what the purposes are, what the goals are the key thing that management needs to do in any organization. If the leadership of the organization doesn't have clarity, then it's destined to fail. And so I think breaking down silos, having cross-cultural items addressed, everyone knowing what the rules of engagement are, so to speak, has played huge dividends in making this a much more aligned organization. And that's been very successful for us.
Good. How important is establishing trust with coworkers and also with the boss?
That's a great question. Trust, we're currently on a journey. We want to be recognized as one of the premier places to work in America. And there actually is an organization called the Premier Place to Work organization. We're actually working with them. These are the guys that have worked over many years with like the Fortune 500 companies to identify best places to work. And they will tell you that the number one factor in a best place to work is trust. If the employees trust in the leadership, if they trust in the activities that are being done or for the overall good of the company and the benefit of the teammates, they are more likely to be listed on the top 100 list. So it's something that if you believe in something, you believe in a goal, people will follow if they know that they're doing the right thing and they know what that activity is. You're going to be successful, and our goal is to be a premier place to work, which allows you to recruit even better people over time and then become very well known in the marketplace. So when you do have an opening, you can bring in great people. I'm talking like companies that are on that list, like Google. You know, a lot of people want to work at Google or Amazon because they have a reputation of being great with their employees, and that's what we strive to be. Quite honestly, we're not there yet, but it is definitely a goal that we have established as a global organization.
To the best of your knowledge, was family important to Mr. Ishibashi when he founded Bridgestone all the way back in the 1930s?
Yes, Mr. Ishibashi founded Bridgestone actually as a tabby shoe company initially before we got into the tire business back in 1931. Family has always been very important to him, and also our other founder, Harvey Firestone, way back in 1900. I can certainly tell you family was important to Harvey. Many of his sons and relatives were in the business back then. We're still very connected to the Firestone family even today, even since they sold the company back in 1988. And we like to not only have internal family, but we like to have relationships with our customers that is almost family-like as well, because we believe that if you have a trusting relationship with your partners and your customers, and you can develop win-win relationships where both sides have to win in a business, and you break down the barriers, and that trust builds up, and that allows you to be much more successful than just a general business relationship.
Very good. Why should a retail tire dealer choose to do business with Bridgestone?
How much time do I have? I'll try to be brief on this one. Well, first of all, it starts with the culture that we've been talking about. You want to do business with people that you can trust, people that you can rely on, people that you can rely on to be consistent with you, people that will be straight with you, whether it's something you want to hear or you don't want to hear. That's important, and also allows you to give feedback and really work towards goals that you can be aligned with. Obviously at Bridgestone we feel we make great products. We've got multiple brands that try to attract different types of customers. So for example, on Bridgestone brand, It's a very heavy original equipment tire on a lot of high-end vehicles like BMW and Lexus. Uh, the innovation in Bridgestone we think is best in class, so that brings in a more premium consumer to your place of business, and that OE fitment should pull more traffic into your store to provide you more selling opportunities. We've got a Firestone brand that's Americana since 1900. It's really for the work hard, play hard segment of the marketplace, what we like to call it. Really that value segment where you get a major brand product at a fair price, and that's why it works hard and plays hard. Great patterns like Destination, Transforce, Firehawk. And then for the more price-conscious customer, we have our Fusion brand and our Primo brands that for that particular segment of the market. And it's key that, you know, a retailer carries all types of those brands so that they can address any customer's needs when they come in. I also think that because we are very strong in the retail arena, we know what it's like to be in front of a counter, in front of customers, and we like to share that expertise. A lot of our salespeople have worked retail. It's definitely a core competency that we think we have that differentiates us from some of the other manufacturers. And we want to be as much of a consultant as our customers will allow us to be. Some people want a tremendous amount of support. Others are very self-reliant and they only need a little bit. But whatever that area of comfortability is, we want to match up and provide the tools, even if it's not just selling tires. It's about running an operation, and we like to try to be as easy to do business as possible, because if you're running a store, you don't have a lot of time outside of running the day-to-day business and taking care of your customer to worry about things like advertising, hiring, training, educating your folks. So we provide tons of support programs. Last count, we had over 80 different support programs that we offer our affiliated retailers in the marketplace, and we think that helps them become better businesses and hopefully builds their business, and they become the experts in their market and they win the battle.
What do you feel are some of the benefits to the boss when choosing to do business with an independent, family-owned company?
Very good question. And the BOSS is kind of our acronym for the consumer. We want to put a lot of emphasis. That's one of the rules of the road that we established a few years back. It's actually our number one rule of the road, and that's the boss is number one. Because if we don't satisfy the boss as a manufacturer with our product, and the retailer doesn't satisfy the boss with the service that's provided, then we're both probably going to lose that customer. So we have a joint obligation to make sure that the boss leaves the retail store satisfied with the product and satisfied with how they were treated, and even after the sale, how they're treated with follow-up, hopefully, and then that's going to build more repeat business. And so that's the differentiator if you're a retailer. That is, how do you establish yourself as the place to go, how to be that expert, how to provide superior customer service, because quite honestly, we're in a category where the consumer has a very low opinion of our industry. And so if you even just meet their expectations, you're probably ahead of the game. Imagine what happens if you exceed their expectations. You will have customers, hopefully for life, but certainly you're building a base of loyal customers, and that's really what the essence of building a legacy and building a business is all about, is building your customer count. If you build your customer count, there's no doubt you will win, and it really doesn't matter what your competition does, because you will have that customer loyal, and they will not look at other places to try to save a buck or two, because they know they can trust your counsel and your guidance to do the right thing. And if they trust you, they will come back.
Could you talk a little bit about your relationship with K&M Tire over the years?
Well, K&M Tire is a fantastic family-oriented distributor. We talked about family earlier. We like dealing with family distributors and even family retailers as well. K&M has been in business for 45 years. And when Ken Langhouse opened it up as a two-bay store, and it's now become one of the largest distributors in the United States. And it continues to grow today. They've been on expansion mode. As K&M has grown, we have grown with them. And so when you've had a long history for 45 years, you know a lot more about each other, and it's a very good, predictable relationship. We know each other's challenges. We want to work together as a team to make it successful. And really what we want to do is team up and help the independent retailer, because we know it's tough out there. There's a lot of people that have entered into the tire segment. There's a lot of national retailers now. There's a lot of other folks that weren't in the tire business even 10 or 15 years ago. There's a lot of consolidation going on. But one thing that we've been able to count on at Bridgestone Firestone is K&M and the markets that they're in. We know we've got a very important ally to go to business with, and it's been a tremendous relationship. And we know it's going to continue to grow because K&M is run a first-class organization, and they continue to go into more and more markets.
Is there any advice you've ever given or taken that still sticks with you today?
You know, I used to work for a gentleman named John Gamoff. Maybe some in the audience have heard. He was my boss until he retired about 6-7 years ago. And every day, I think that I was around him, he would utter a phrase that is very appropriate to today's meeting, and that is, people buy from people. And that's a very simple phrase, but it means so much. You know, even in today where people are on their iPhones and their Androids, and you know, your customers are walking in equipped with all the latest technology, they still come into a store, and thankfully we're in a product segment and a service segment that still needs expertise. It still needs brick and mortar to install the product and to provide the services that the folks in the audience provide every day to their customers. And still today, 70% of the consumers will buy from what you recommend each and every day in your store. You have a tremendous influence that I think sometimes is understated or misrepresented sometimes. Take advantage of that. You have a customer in your store, you do the job right, they will not walk out without taking your counsel. So people do still buy from people. They will always buy from people in this industry. And this is a great industry to be in because you're keeping the public safe every day. If you do your job right, they'll come back time and again. Very good.
To close it out, we're going to kind of do sort of a montage of people like yourself saying our mission statement. Okay. So if you could just say, we are dedicated to continuous improvement, just like that. Okay.
We are dedicated to continuous improvement.
Perfect. Okay. Perfect. Everything I got. Thank you so much. This means a lot to us.
Edit.